Hey, well, welcome again. My name's Tad. Today we're going to be looking at the Giant Sequoia by Golden West. Today we're going to be looking at the exterior, and then we're going to be diving into the interior, and lastly we're going to be looking at a couple options and comparisons. This is the Giant Sequoia. It's 2,280 square feet. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do with those, and those possibilities are kind of what we're going to be going into today to discuss. So to start, like I said, it's the exterior here. You can see here we have 4 rows of lap siding. It's completely customizable. You can go all the way lap siding, or you could do just half, or you could even do board and bat siding. How we have it set up here on the lot is 4 rows of lap siding, and then this is the standard siding, LP Smart Panel. So sometimes people, to kind of break up the look of that manufactured house look, you can do different colors here and a little bit more accent. If you look down here too, the lap siding goes all the way up around the front door. So this also will kind of add to, like I said, a different breakup of the exterior. It's not going to be all one single pane. As you can kind of see to the house to our right here, the Clover, which is a great house, all of it's the same kind of siding. So this breaks up the look naturally, and it adds a little bit more customization to it, to be honest with you. As you see here too, we got 2 of the lantern lights. Again, it's just an option we picked. There's about 3 or 4 different exterior lights that you can choose. I personally like those because it kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, but it's not my house, it's your house, so you can kind of pick how you'd like to do it. One of my absolute favorite things about this house, and you'll see, are the size of the windows. Like, look down that whole shot right there. See all of these windows. We've added 14 extra big windows. They're 36 by 80 inches. So this is an exact example right here. Notice how you can kind of choose your trim color compared to your lap siding color. All of these windows are going to be argon gas treated windows. So you're going to have a little bit more energy savings there. And it's just overall more efficient. At the front door, you see the Energy Star label. That's not just for the insulation. That's not just for the siding. That includes the windows as well. So it's all part of this Energy Star kind of package to it. So just because you have nice, big, open, a lot of natural light, you're not sacrificing your bill at the end of the month. So when you're doing those bigger windows, you're not going to spoil your energy efficiency. Notice how this side here has lap siding, and the front, you can choose to do that on either all sides or just the front or back, or even just one side. Let's say your house is pitted up against, your garage or something like that. There's no sense in paying for extra wrap around the side that no one's going to see. One thing that's also great about this home in general is you can add hardy board concrete lap siding. So if you're in maybe a fire zone, or you just want something a little bit stronger, you can do hardy board lap siding, and you can choose how many rows. You don't have to do the full wrap. You can do 17 rows of it instead of 4. It's up to you. It just breaks up the look. It makes it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing as long as you have a good color palette. Right down this side, you can see a little bit more windows, and this is the back side of the house. Most houses, they don't do a whole lot of lighting or even natural kind of windows on the back side of it. But with the Giant Sequoia, it being the biggest one we have on our lot, you're going to find the windows on every single side possible to it. Right here is actually going to be out where you see your kitchen. A lot of people that I've worked with, they've ended up putting a porch out here. So you have your kind of kitchen scene that you can look out into your yard or your porch. This is the dining room side window. One thing I've had a lot of people like to do is they'll put a sliding glass door here instead. So imagine, you have your porch, you have your barbecuer going into your dining room for your dining room table. So it's one of those houses that it's kind of gonna work with what you have, in mind for your family and stuff. I've even done this house before where it was for a family who processed a lot of wild game, and they were able to just move everything through this door rather than walking all the way around. So it's really kind of up to you. That's one thing that's nice with Golden West is the engineering works with kind of how your lifestyle is and what's going to make the most sense for you. Now this is a spot. This is one of 3 exterior options for exit points. So a lot of people have put their garage up next to it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be on this front loaded section. You can move the door to the side too. It really depends on what's going to work for you, your family, and your property, and what's kind of going to save you the most money. If you're going to have a garage on that side, we can move that door over there. We can add a gable so it fits flush to it. It's Again, up to you and how you guys want to live your life and how it's going to make sense on your property. So one other option that I love talking about is the exterior hose bib. So you can do a hot water or a cold water hose bib. With a house this size, I usually always suggest around 3, but it's up to you. Another thing that's really great that Golden West has started doing that me as a Christmas lover absolutely loves is they can put exterior GFIs in the eaves. So when you go in to plug in your Christmas lights, you're not having to run a really ugly bright orange extension cord all the way out. They can be put in, I mean, as long as there's about 3 feet of space, you can put in as many as you like. Oh, one thing I also like to add, if you notice right up here, it comes standard with everything in the Inspiration Gold series, is the ridge venting. So you'll see venting all the way along there. Now that's an option. There's a couple different WUI certified options that you can go for that would take away that ridge venting, but it's totally up to you. It's just one of the many things that you can kind of do. The lap siding, you know, it's fantastic. It breaks up the look, but it's also huge to choose your colors too, because we did a black trim here. We did kind of a darker brown and then a white body, but there's close to probably about 20 different colors that you can pick from. So you can, you know, imagination is the limit. Don't ask me because I'm partially colorblind, so I'm probably not the best guy to go to for colors, but I can tell you what most people do. And one of the biggest things is having this lap siding, so it breaks up the look. It adds a little bit more depth to the aesthetic quality of your home. Perfect. Well, now that wraps up the exterior, so we're going to go ahead and pop inside, take a look at a couple different options, and frankly, the most exciting part of the house. But as always, right here, Energy Star sticker. That's one thing that's absolutely fantastic about the standards within the Inspiration Gold series. And again, you kind of have lantern set exterior lights, but you can even add eave lights if you wanted. If you wanted to go away with the Harry Potter look, or if you want to go a little bit more extreme, we can always just kind of plumb it and get it ready for that. So naturally, when I personally walk in here, I notice kind of how open it is. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a 30 by 76, which comes out to 2,280 square feet. It's the biggest double wide we have on our lot here. Now, as you kind of walk in, you'll notice the really openness of this house. You know, from the coffered ceilings to the kitchen. These ceilings are 9 feet tall. Speaking from a man who's hardly 5'8", it does make a pretty big difference for me looking up and seeing everything. One of my favorite parts when I naturally walk in are going to be these coffered ceilings. I think it kind of breaks up the look, adds a little bit more, you know, depth to your living room, your kitchen, your dining room. It just adds some detail that you never really thought was missing until you actually put it in there. 8-foot island right there, completely customizable too, all stainless steel appliances, which comes standard, of course. This is one of my favorite parts right here. This is the walk-in pantry right here. And we can add outlets in it. We can even make it bigger. Kind of, as I'll talk about it a little bit more, there's just a lot of options you can do to it. If you just need a little walk-in, or if you need a really big walk-in, depending on how big your family is, there's just a lot of options to do. And that's one of the reasons why this floor plan works so well with a bigger family, or a family that's growing, to be honest with you. And this window right over here is kind of what I was talking about. A lot of people will put either a double French door or even another exit point or a sliding glass door just to add even more view outside. But one thing that's great is a lot of people will add a porch there. And so if you kind of get the vision behind it, you know, you'd have your barbecue right out there on the porch, then your dining room table in here. So it's a spot where everyone can kind of eat and move about. And it's not like your house is working against you, if that makes sense. But nice big open window here. There's a W10 window. Of course, that doesn't mean anything to you, but that is the code for it. So it's going to be nice and open. Goes up about 65, 70 inches right there. My favorite part is a single cell stainless farm sink. Comes with a disposal if you'd like, or no disposal. It's totally up to you. A bunch of different options as far as backsplash goes. This is a blue penny round backsplash. I like a couple others more, but this is one of the best looks. I think it really kind of adds to the whole openness of it. This is a stainless steel range hood. Now you can put a microwave up here as well. And so you get a little bit more cabinets out of it. If you choose to go that option, I like the look of it just because the backsplash goes all the way up. And these are about 52-inch tall cabinets. You don't have to go all the way to the ceiling. It's just one of those options that you can do. I think it just makes the house look a little bit more cohesive, especially in the kitchen. Notice too, this isn't just an island for show or, a couple drawers here and there. It's a full set as well. Right? And you can make it shorter, you can make it longer. You could even do a snack bar option too, if you like that. A little bit of a raised look there too. But I kind of like this because it's, a big house and you big family, and you can entertain a big crowd too with it. So one thing people ask too is like, just how many people will feel comfortable in this space, entertaining. You see over here, we have 6 people set up at the dining room table, 4 people here, probably fit about 5 people over there. So, that in itself is, getting close to the 15, 20 mark number of people. And that's not even including the second living room that's on the other side. So you could have adults in here enjoying fancy wine, fancy cheese, and then all of the kids in the other room maybe playing video games or working on their homework like good kids. I know I did growing up. So it's kind of nice to have that separation option too. You don't just have to kick them outside. So if you guys want to continue with me all the way back in the master bedroom or primary bedroom. So earlier when we were outside, I kept mumbling at you about all of the windows outside. This room does a great job of displaying all of this natural light that you can get in here. So these are going to be 36 by 80 inch windows here. It's going to be the biggest that you can make amongst just about every factory too. Because a 9-foot tall ceiling, you're cutting it nice and close, but you can get a lot of natural light in here. Now, personally, I wouldn't want this many windows in my primary bedroom, but we don't discriminate here. You can have as many windows as you like. It's all up to you. And you can even do smaller transom ones just to keep that natural light, but to, give you a little bit more privacy as well. Notice when I walk into this right here, I notice that 72-inch tub is going to be kind of the focal point of it so far. You're going to have, dual vanity sinks, his and hers, so you're not fighting too much, but fights always happen no matter what. It's a bathroom. Another really big window here to add some light. Now there's a couple different options for bathtubs. I'm not a huge tub person, but you could do an extended shower in here. You could do a couple different bathtub options, as I'd like to say, a corner tub, even freestanding. It's really up to you. It's up to your preference. If you took a look right over here, this is where the shower is. So this is a 42 by 60 inch tile shower. And then you notice you have your toilet in there as well. One thing I love about this floor plan, so many options to customize. If you're not a tub person, let's go ahead and put the shower where the tub is. Let's make this a private commode. But if you remember that walk-in pantry, that's where this kind of comes in. I've done it before where I've taken this wall all the way out. And so you had an even bigger walk-in pantry. Again, depends on what's going to work with your family, what's going to work with your kind of lifestyle. Otherwise, this is a nice big walk-in closet. You can do wood beams as well instead of the wire racks. It's totally up to you. But again, another thing is another transom light. This house is huge for natural light, but it's a choice. You don't have to do that. It's just how we have it set up. So one thing you'll notice about this double vanity is most vanities, it's all one big mirror, 2 sinks. This is almost a little bit more privatized. I know my girlfriend would definitely appreciate it, me not watching her get ready, doing her makeup, stay in my lane, stay forward, which I can appreciate. You'll notice here is just the amount of storage room. This would definitely be mine because it's a little bit smaller. But there's not really going to be that whole need for 12, 15 devices all laid out, all of her makeup, laid out on the side as well. There's a lot of storage here. So it makes sense. It's a little bit of a different design, if I'm being honest with you, but it does make sense. I know it would work for me, but that's just because she calls the shots. So I'm going to keep my eyes forward, keep it moving. Going to walk right back into the living room. Dining room is, gosh, see, just look at that. All of the cabinets go all the way to the ceiling. It's not really an eyesore. It's not going to be one of those things that, oh, I have to dust that again. God knows I couldn't reach it, so I would definitely need a step stool, but we'll throw in a step stool if you need it. Perfect. And then if we keep going this way, you'll notice right here is a coat closet. So when you walk in, you can add all of your coats in here, deposit them off, whatever it may be. And then you might be asking, what's with these two doors right next to it? Well, this is going to be where your furnace is and your water heater as well. Sorry, furnace and water heater. So kind of put it in the hallway. It's a little bit easier to get to as well. And this house, of course, can come with the e-built package. Really, really in-depth energy savings. Something with Golden West, and especially in the Inspiration Gold line, the Energy Star certification is what they're after. As efficient of a house they can build, but we can dive into that another time. If you keep following me, this is the second guest bedroom. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but like I said earlier, it's great for a growing family. Couple things I've done with this one too is I've even adjusted how far this wall comes in. So you can make this room bigger if you'd like. But how we have it set up right now, it's definitely, the youngest kid on the totem pole is going to get this room. It is the closest to the family room. It's going to be the closest to the master bedroom as well. So you can keep a little bit better eyes on everyone in it. This is going to be the third bedroom right here. Now, it'll be a little bit bigger, but like I said before, I've adjusted it to where I've even blown out this wall. We've made it a big sewing room for customer ones. I've even took out part of this wall, added another pool table. But if you don't want to do all that fancy stuff, you don't have to. You can just have it for the kids' rooms and everything like that. So as I've been talking about options. Well, it all sounds good and dandy, but how much is it? It depends on kind of what you're wanting to do with the walls that you're moving, but it's really not that huge of a cost. Last time I did it, it's roughly about $200 to move this wall a little bit further back. They wanted to put in a big ping pong table and a pool table, so felt happy to oblige, but it's really not terribly expensive. You're not going to trigger an engineering fee right away that's like 10 grand, and then you say, well, there was that freckled faced kid talking about it on YouTube. I thought it wasn't going to be that much. It's really not. You're not going to trigger too much. Well, you do have a closet right here. You can always adjust the size of it too if you need to make it a little bit bigger. As we come out of that second bedroom, or third bedroom, I should say, this is the fourth bedroom right in here. Now, a lot of people have used this as an office. It's got a nice light. You can do linoleum throughout the house. That's not an issue. It's actually pretty common. Or you can do carpet in here. We chose to put this one linoleum because it kind of made the most sense for the size of an office. So now, as we're walking out, you're going to kind of take a look at this space and you're going to say, what's the point of this? What does this do? This is part of one of our package that we have roped in with the house. It's a desk here, but I've done a couple different things with it. So I've added a half bath here instead. I've even put just a bigger storage closet as well. So kind of whatever you can dream up within reason. Of course, we can kind of make happen here, but this is one of the ideas from the factory to toss it out there. And at first I was like, that's kind of strange placement, but I've also had people say this is the best spot for kids to do homework because they're not locked in their room. I can check in on them. I can make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So all I can say is thank God I didn't have a desk in the hallway when I was growing up because I would have got caught a lot more. But it is a great option. But like I said, there's different things you can do. You're not married to just this one idea here. And then right over here is going to be the guest bathroom. So as you walk in, one of the biggest things is look at how big that tub shower combo is. It's not the classic little cookie cutter. It's a little bit extended for a little bit more size. So great for baths and everything like that too. It's all going to be a one-piece fiberglass. So you're not messing with grout or leaks or anything like that. I'm not really into taking huge upkeep of stuff. So this is kind of my go-to. Got your bathroom here. So most houses in that second bathroom that a lot of people honestly forget about, they don't have as much storage. So this is a whole nother linen closet right here for you as well. So again, this house kind of works with you, but it's something you don't have to do if you don't want to, but it is a standard. So why change it if you don't have to pay for it? Now back here, this is the shining jewel of this house. This is the secondary living room. As you walk in, it's nice, big. I love how symmetrical, when you're looking at that TV, you have same size windows there. You can either do, this is an electric fireplace, but you can do a wood fireplace there or gas. Again, it's totally up to you. The thing I like about this room is it's open for interpretation. You can put your TV here and or put your couch back up here. You can also do a wet bar here as well if you're feeling a little fancier. But like I said earlier, this is a good separation. So your kids could be doing video games in here while the adults are in the kitchen or in the first living room. It's up to you. I've seen so many different renditions of this room. I've even seen someone add an additional bedroom in here. So it's really open for interpretation. Again, notice though, the natural light. The windows are huge in this place. Absolutely. They're the biggest windows that you can put on a manufactured home, standardized. Now, of course, you can always get fancier if you really wanted, but additional cabinet space. Again, just more and more. So I don't even know if you need a garage with how many cabinets are in here. You could probably store everything you need in here. Leads me to my next favorite part of the house. This is going to be your mudroom. So notice that you can come in this side. Your washer and dryer would go in here, but this is the sports locker that comes with this house if you do the package. So you got your boots here, jackets here, gloves here, whatever it may be. One thing I've done here too is had a huge wraparound folding table. So you have base cabinets, upper cabinets. Again, notice that transom window right there just to add light. But one of my last customers, they had their garage going in on this side. So what we did is we took that door and put it right here so it fit right up to the garage. So just because you see, the location of stuff in this video doesn't mean that's where it has to be. That's the nice thing with Golden West. You can really move around stuff. You can move stuff around with other companies as well, but they're really, really friendly to us as far as that goes. Well, now you have heard me mumble on and on. We are finally finished with the interior portion of this house. Now we can kind of sit down and talk about the comparisons of other houses on the lot and the analysis of it. So again, we're looking at the Giant Sequoia today, and it is named the Giant Sequoia because of its size. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,280 square feet. Now here on a lot, there's a couple houses that are somewhat similar to it. For example, one is the Shoshone. It's about 400 square feet less, but it's a very different layout. You're not going to have a big secondary living room. You have a little bit more flow. Some would argue maybe on the master bedroom side, but you're not going to have those 9-foot tall ceilings, which is, huge for people. Not so much for people of my size, but other people, it's a pretty big difference that you can see. One thing is you can get bigger windows in this. Now the Shoshone, don't get me wrong, I think it's a great floor plan, but the flow on this house is a little bit easier to work with. A secondary living room is huge. Another house on the lot that is somewhat comparable is the Clover right next to us. So the biggest thing with that is the difference in ceiling height, first of all, number of windows, and just kind of the feel of it. The master bedroom on that one is going to be centrally located, where this is end-to-end located. So you have a lot more real estate between each bedroom, whereas in the Clover, some of the bedrooms are kind of on top of each other, so to speak. So it's good if you're trying to keep your eyes on your children, but if you also want to kind of enjoy your own privacy, Giant Sequoia is a little bit easier because there is that real estate in between. So it just comes down to personal preference. Personally, I would make my kids sleep outside if they got too loud, but I understand that is not a good practice to have. So the Giant Sequoia is nice for that, where you do want your own kind of section, your own side of things, but you still can get connected to your kitchen. So the biggest thing with, the difference in factories, some people will walk in and say, all right, give me the truth of it. Which factory builds the best product as far as structurally, quality of ingredients? All of them are built to this HUD code. So the quality of ingredients are going to be just about the same across the board. You can upgrade certain things here and there, but the biggest difference that you're going to find in these factories are going to be like the aesthetic qualities. Like, for example, that Clover, when you walk in, it's that farm feel. It definitely has a different feeling when you walk in because of the style of cabinets, the style of backsplash, things like that. So those are going to be the major key differences as far as looks go. Now, structurally, the only thing I would say that is a really big difference is Golden West, they can build a 9-foot tall ceiling, whereas Fleetwood is limited to a little bit under that 8.5 feet. personally, my favorite house we have here on the lot is the Shoshone, especially for the size of it. I love it. But I was looking statistically, why is the Giant Sequoia the best seller of 2025? I mean, I know it's a beautiful house and everything like that, but there has to be some undercover secret that I'm not aware of. We started looking statistically even into the finances of it. This Giant Sequoia is just over $98 per square foot. So it's hard to beat when you have 2,280 square feet. That's really, really hard to beat. Now the Shoshone is just over $100. So it's not a terrible difference, but for the amount of extra space you get, I can see why, especially families, the secondary living room, the price per square foot, the customization options, it makes a lot of sense why it's the best. Just because you go smaller in the size of the house doesn't mean it's going to be a smaller price tag necessarily per square foot. So the bigger house, even though this is one of the largest houses, it's going to have the smallest or one of the lowest prices per square foot. That's just kind of how it shakes out. Some people will think, well, I don't have a really super big budget, so let me get a smaller sized house. But that's not where the savings really lies if you're looking at it. I myself am definitely a penny pincher, and so on the back end, I'll look and see, exactly how much everything costs. And going necessarily with a smaller size house does not mean you get a better savings. Look at this huge 2,280 square foot house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, $98 per square foot. So that's where the kind of secret lies. You're going to have high ceilings, but you're going to have a low cost per square foot. So it seems counterintuitive to me. I mean, absolutely. But that's actually where a lot of the savings is. Don't just take my word for it. We love you watching the videos, no doubt. Every house has its own atmosphere, its own vibe when you walk into Clover. Very different feeling compared to when you walk into the Giant Sequoia. So come see for yourself, take a tour, 7 days a week. Everything's open for you. So don't take my word for it, come see yourselves.